Holy actual crap. I just wanted to say hi. Like, what? I, like, literally inhaled, like, all of the saliva in my mouth just went into my lungs, I think. Okay. Hi, ladies and they, thems, but, like, not dying this time. Okay, so I'm drinking Sunny D. Y'all, can I just say this? I don't like orange juice, like the typical juice of the orange. I don't like it. I'm like hot. I'm about to take off my... I just dropped my phone. Nothing is going right now. I'm trying to take off my hoodie. But what I was saying is that I don't like orange juice, for real. I don't know. But I like Sunny D, obviously, because I'm drinking it. But orange juice isn't my vibe. But anyway, I think that... So I drank orange juice when I had the flu, like a year ago. It was like February of last year. I had the flu, which was horrible and it sucked. It only really sucked for about 2 or 3 days. And then the other couple days I was fine. But the reason I'm hot right now is because I just cleaned my bathroom. Shout out. And I wore my hoodie the whole time. So I don't know why I did that. But y'all, I made my power go out the other day. Like, okay. Let me plug these lights in real quick. So, okay, that doesn't really do that much, but whatever. The other night, I washed my hair. I think it was like Monday. And my hair takes so long to dry. It's like really like, my hair could probably stay wet for like 3 full days. Like, it's really sick and I can't stand it. So, also, I was talking to my friend earlier about hair, curly hair specifically, and I don't know if that means I have low porosity or high porosity hair, because I don't know the difference. Like, I know one of them is like, your hair doesn't hold on to water. It's kind of like almost hydrophobic, but then the other one is the opposite. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the difference is, but anyway, so my hair takes literally forever to dry. And so I woke up the next morning, my hair was still wet. Like, not even just damp, it was like wet, okay? So I have a blow dryer, and I never use it, but I just decided to this morning because I was like frustrated. And it was cold outside and I didn't want to have like wet hair on me. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like weird. So I plugged in my blow dryer. I'm using it for like 30 seconds and all of a sudden my power goes out. And I was like, oh my God. So I go into my living room. My grandparents have no idea that the power's out because the power is only out in my room and my bathroom. So my bathroom is right there, like behind my closet door. So it only affected this side of the house, which was cool. But anyway, my grandpa fixed it, and it was totally my bad because I didn't think about the dryer. I didn't think about turning everything off in my room. Like, I don't know. So Sunny D is like really good, but yeah. Okay, so guys, so let me tell you about, I have a stalker. So if anyone was wondering, this might be my last vlog. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the vibe is. This guy might want me dead. I don't know. I told my friend about it and he doesn't think that, but then I told my other friend about it and he does think that. So I don't know who to believe. You know what I'm saying? So I'm leaning more towards the side of this guy, like, is stalking my every move. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kidding. I'm being dramatic. So I go into the gym the other day. So what was yesterday? Tuesday? Yes. I go to the gym yesterday, as I always do pretty much. And for context, my nose is stuffed up right now, by the way, because I think I inhaled a bunch of dust while I was cleaning my bathroom. But anyway, I'm real sensitive to that. So last Thursday and Friday, I did not go to the gym because on Thursday I donated plasma. Shout out. Hey. I always donate blood or plasma or whatever. Cause the big red bus, the One Blood, like people, the big red bus, they come to my job every couple months or so. So anyway, so I donated plasma, and there was one time previously back in like October that I donated blood, and I decided to still go to the gym that day, even though you're not supposed to do that. They tell you not to exercise for like 24 to 48 hours after you donate. So I knew that, right? But me being an idiot, right? I thought I would be okay. I thought I'm fine. It's okay, right? It might affect other people, but it wouldn't affect me. Like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was out of the way of that, but I wasn't. And I thought I was going to throw up and die. I did like 5 minutes on the Stairmaster, and I was like literally trying not to throw up, like seriously. So big mistakes were made that day. So I'm not going to do that ever again. So I donated blood last Thursday, and then Friday I was off of work and I went to the mall, and then I could have went that day, but I was just like, whatever, we'll go back on Monday. So Thursday and Friday I missed the gym. And then before that, previously, like around the time of the holidays, I missed maybe like 2 weeks. I don't know. I didn't go from like a few days before Christmas. So like probably from December 22nd to January 5th, I didn't go. So it's like I missed a decent amount of time there, right? And so I'm walking into the gym yesterday, which was Tuesday, and this guy that I've never seen before in my life, by the way. And like I see a lot of the same people at the gym, and I you know what I'm saying? Like, I just kind of recognize them. I'm like, I've seen them out in public before, and I'm like, oh, hey, we go to the same gym. Like, I don't say that to them, but I'm like, oh, I know this person from the gym. But when I say no, it's just like, I just know what your face looks like. Like, that's not really knowing somebody. But anyway, so where was I? Okay, I'm walking in, and this guy that I don't know, he was like, you've been missing in action. Like, I'm walking in and he's walking out, so we pass each other, and he's like, you've been missing in action. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, who? Me? Like, I don't even know you. So, mind you, this man is like old. He's got to be in his 50s, has to be in his 50s. He's like the same height as me. And like, I don't know. I don't feel like describing him, not crazy, but he's just like an older dude. And so I was like, what? And he was like, I haven't seen you for the past couple days. You've been looking? Question mark? Because you shouldn't be. Because, okay, here's my thing. I know, okay. It's cool to know somebody from the gym and to be like, oh, hey, I recognize you. If he would have seen me out in public and been like, hey, we go to the same gym, that probably wouldn't have freaked me out as much, just because it's like, because I have such a routine that I go around the same time every day, Monday through Friday. And I'm sure that that's what a lot of other people do. I think that that's the reason I see the same people there every day, because of that. We have the same like schedule or routine or whatever. We just end up here at the same time every day. Cool. But I was like, okay, what? And I was like, oh yeah, like I missed a couple days, whatever. And then he just like walked off. But I'm just thinking about it, and I'm like, I didn't know anybody gave a fuck that much, to the point where me not being there for like 2 days in a week like throws you off to the point where you're gonna say something to me about it, right? I'm sure that there's people that I've noticed I haven't seen every day, but I'm not gonna go up to them and make that a point and let them know. I'm not gonna let them know that I pay that much attention to them, because I don't care, right? I don't. There was a woman I met one time that I spoke to. She spoke to me. We had a conversation in the locker room. I don't think I've ever seen her again. I've seen her twice when I first started going there. The second time I saw her, we had a conversation. Other than that, never seen her again. But if I were to see her again, first of all, would I even recognize her? Because I started going to the gym in September. So we've got I started going September 1st. So like all of September, all of October, November, December, January. It's been at least 4 or 5 months since I've seen this woman. So I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in 5 months. Who cares though? Because I don't. Like sigh. It's weird. And like, I'm not trying to be too like, oh my God, I'm a victim. Like, I'm not saying that anything crazy happened. And I'm also not saying he's like trying to kill me. I was just kidding when I was saying that. But I do think that it just kind of reminds me, and it should remind everybody else, that like, it's real easy to figure out somebody's routine if they have one. It's real easy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this guy's obviously he's not. He's just like a random old guy that probably just wants to, I don't know, talk to somebody, whatever. That's what my other friend said. But I was like, no, he wants me dead. But anyway, But I'm saying for other people, like, think about that. Because I go to work, I have the same schedule, and, like, somebody could even pick up on the patterns that I have. Like, because I don't work Monday through Friday, so every other week is different. Or I meant every week is different, and then it like, rotates between, Monday, okay. I work every other weekend, so I get every other Wednesday and every other Friday off, and then every other weekend off as well. So I work 40 hours a week no matter what. But either way, I don't go to the gym except for Monday through Friday. I've never been to the gym on a weekend. So anyway, I'm just saying that it makes it very easy for somebody to just figure out your schedule, you know? Because I'm like, and then I'm like I said, I see the same people there every day. And sometimes I've seen them getting in their car, getting out of their car, whatever. So it's like, I could figure out, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I was crazy, I could figure out a lot about these people. And plus, I have the world's most identifiable car. Like, literally. I drive a bright green little car. It's like lime green. Bright. Like, it is bright, y'all. So all you have to do is just see me getting in it one time, and you're going to reckon it's not a car that you see every day. It's not. Unless you're stalking me. But I'm like, is that not crazy? I don't know. And also, I will say this. I don't know if this is, like, woke or not. It's not woke. It's, like, the truth. It is something that women have to worry about more. Just saying. I am kind of a woman, basically, I guess. On a good day. But, like, I have to be aware of things like this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you call it paranoid. I call it, you know what I'm saying? I call it cautious. I call it safe. I call it, I'm going to buy a gun. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I, like, seriously, because oh my God, all over my TikTok is like, guys, here's a new way that people are trying to sex traffic you and your child at a gas station. What, dude? Like, oh my God, what is anything anymore? Literally, I had a guy that I thought was following me around Walmart today, and I got scared. I did, and I'm like, he wasn't following me. But it is a thing that sometimes you got to be low-key, like, worried about. You know what I'm saying? Even out in public. I don't get freaked out that bad because I just stay to myself. But at the same time, I'm like, I like to be aware of my surroundings. At the gym, too, I feel like really out in public, I like to be aware of my surroundings and, like, who's around me and, like, looking around a lot. So I feel like when I'm at the gym, I be looking a lot like this. I'll be walking on the treadmill, and I'm just looking around. Like, I look at the door crazy. And I feel like whenever I'm on the treadmill and then there's somebody, like, next to me or a couple treadmills down next to me, and if they're in, like, if I'm faced this way and I turn to look at the door, I always wonder if they think I'm looking at them. But I'm not. I just have a habit of looking at the door because I like to know who's coming in, y'all. I'm kind of freaked out. Like, I don't know. But so anyway, that's my stalker story. Oh, so speaking of story, this isn't a story. This is just something that happened. I guess everything is a story if you think about it. Like, anything that you say is technically a story, especially if it's like an event, like you're recalling an event. Is that what a story is? I don't know. So anyway, I went to Walmart today. So, okay. I needed a new SD card for this camera because I was running low on storage. And I wanted a new SD card. I wanted to do, like, one specifically, like, start of this year to, like, start from 2026 on into the future, until I fill that one up and then I'll start over, you know what I mean? But, I bought the wrong thing. I bought an SD card, but I didn't get a micro SD card, which is what I need for this camera because it takes a tiny little SD card. The one I bought is, like, the full-fledged, like, the big thing. So I'm like, I spent $30, and then I'm like, I can't take it back because it's out of the package. How about I, like, literally kill someone? Because this is not funny. My eye's itching again. My eye's always itching. So, okay. And then also, while I'm here, let me complain. So, in my last vlog, I mentioned that $300 incentive that my job owes me because I went a full 90 days without calling out or being late or getting written up or anything like that. So I was told when that happened, I was told that it was going to be on my paycheck that comes on the 16th, which is 2 days from now on Friday, because I get paid every other Friday. I was told that my $300 would be on that check. And we have this app that we can log into, and we can look at our check, and it usually shows like Tuesday night or by Wednesday. So today's Wednesday. Of course, first thing I do is I like to look at my check, make sure I'm getting my money, you know. My $300 is not on the check. What? Whoa, where is my, it's not funny. Where is my money? Okay, rhyme. Oh my God. Seriously, where's my $300? You people owe me money. I'm not messing around with y'all. I'm really not playing right now. Like, I'm not, because I'm supposed to be going shopping with my friend on Friday. I was planning to turn up and spend my $300. I'm still going to do it because I'm still getting my normal paycheck. So I'm still going to go shopping, of course. But the issue is that I'm not getting my $300 yet. Because what's going on? Not only did y'all try to scam me out of it anyway. Hey, you're not giving it to me. And so I texted my boss and I was like, are you sure that my money was supposed to come in on the 16th when we get paid? Because it's not on the paycheck. I don't see it. And they're talking about, she said, oh yeah, the lady said it would be. And so I had to ask her for the lady's number. I'm about to call her tomorrow. I'm calling and I'm getting my money. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are literally crazy. So I don't care if she has to give me a check, like a physical check. I will go cash it. Like, give me my money. You people are insane. This is like so good. My coworker just texted me, said, not them playing with your money. Because I texted her about it and I was like, what's really going on? She just said that to me. Okay. Also, I don't have service on my phone for some reason. I lost service today it was fine this afternoon when I left. I just lost my service and then it hasn't come back. So that's fun. I'm connected to the internet right now. But anyway, okay. I think that I'm supposed to be going shopping with my friend on Friday, like I just said. And one thing that I want to do is I want to get, just thinking about them. Okay. I really want to get those Converse, flats. Y'all know the Converse flats? Oh my God, I want a pair. So I'm hoping that I will get those. Cause when I went Christmas shopping with my grandpa, we went shopping for my grandma. When we went shopping, we got her a pair of shoes. We got her multiple pairs of shoes, but at Journeys where they have Converse and Vans and stuff like that, they had the Converse flats and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So now I want a pair, I think. I don't know. I'm feeling it. I feel like, yeah, I think I'll do it. I'm wearing Converse right now. I'm not even going to lie. I don't play about Converse at all. I don't. It's I just feel so comfortable in a pair of Converse. I don't know. I've been wearing my shoes all day. Since I got home, I haven't taken them off. I've just been cleaning. I like to wear shoes while I'm cleaning. Is that weird? I don't like to feel like my feet are... I like to feel like my feet are protected while I'm cleaning. I don't know if that's weird. But, yeah. So, all right. Now it's time to really get into some conversations. Y'all, last night, I watched Bones and All for the first time ever. First movie of 2026, Bones and All. Okay, first of all, I don't like Timothée Chalamet. He's a good actor. I like him in movies, but I just don't, I'm not his fan. I'm not a big fan of him. I'm not a fan. Okay, there's a few, white boys of the month that I don't like. And one of them is not white. It is Pedro Pascal. I literally do not like Pedro Pascal. I don't care. Is he cute? Yeah, sure, a little bit. But that's it. I don't like him. Bro, I'm not playing. It's just thinking about it is stressing me out. If I was Pedro Pascal's co-worker or co-star and we were working on a movie together and we're let's say we're a press tour and he does that thing where this is what people on the internet are saying, where he gets anxious, quote unquote, and he just starts grabbing me, I'm literally going to kill him. I don't think you understand. I would strangle him to death with my bare hands if he starts touching me everywhere. Not if that sounds crazy, but I just mean why are you touching people crazy like that? You also have that clip of him touching Willem Dafoe's wife. Was it Willem Dafoe? Yeah. He like was touching his wife crazy, and Willem Dafoe was right there, and he turned around. I was like, what are you doing? Don't touch my wife. What? Don't touch anybody, Pedro Pascal. You're a freak. Like, I don't like him. I can't. Oh, I can't. And then everybody wants to defend him. Oh my God, he's just anxious. He has anxiety. He's like 50 something years old. He's literally too old to be acting like that. I don't care. Ugh, it's sick. I don't like it. I can't get behind it. And like, he's kind of cute. Don't get me wrong. I understand the attraction that people have to him, but y'all just be doing too much. Like, God. I don't like Pedro Pascal. I don't like Jacob Elordi. Sorry. Listen, there's a lot. There's so many. I have a list of 3 white boys. I call them white boys of the month because that's kind of what they are, except for Pedro Pascal isn't white. But like these, like the guys that like everybody thirsts over, whatever. Jacob Elordi is the second one that I don't mess with that bad. Like, okay, I like his acting, of course. Like, all these people, I like them in things, of course. I'm not hating on their acting ability. Come on, who am I? But I like Jacob Elordi as Elvis, like, a lot. I really liked him as Elvis. I think he was like a little bit more attractive when he was Elvis. Like, I don't know. There was something there. So that was cool. I like that he's like really tall. I'm like giving a review on these like these people that do not know I exist. I'm like, yeah, I like this about him. But he's a good actor, of course, like really good. I've heard he was good in Frankenstein too. I don't know. And also, why is he Australian? I don't like that. Because when I hear him talk like his normal voice, I'm like, huh? And it's like that for a lot of, like, any celebrity with like an accent. I'm like, okay. The only celebrity that I feel like I can understand, like, having, where it makes sense that they have an accent is, like, Tom Holland. That, like, makes sense. Everybody else is just funky. I'm like, back up. Y'all don't need to be talking like that. So him being Australian is, like, real crazy. It's kind of cool, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's kind of cool, but it's weird. But, so what am I saying? I like him, but he just seems, I feel like, this is my theory about Jacob Elordi. I think that he's super evil. I really do. And I think that about all of these 3 people that I'm talking about. I just feel like there's something real sinister going on, like, with them. Not together, but I just mean, like, something is sinister about it. Like, about them and their personality. You know what I'm saying? They're a little bit too liked, right? You see what I'm saying? It's like they're, like, a little too likable. It's like, there's something. There has to be something. And I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I am. I'm not going to say that I'm preying on their downfall, but I will say that if Pedro Pascal, Timothée Chalamet, and Jacob Elordi were to be on Epstein's Island, I'm not going to say I told you so, but I'm not going to say I didn't warn you. You know what I'm saying? There's something there. I'm not saying that that's what the something is. I'm just saying that might be an example, right? I don't know what they'd be getting into. Maybe they weren't on Epstein's Island per se, but maybe they were at a Diddy party. Huh? Maybe they weren't at a Diddy party. Maybe they were at a MAGA rally, which really there's not too much of a difference between those things, but still, maybe they were. Who am I to say? You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how I feel about them, is like, the one day something real crazy is going to come out and y'all are just going to be like, oh my God, I never would have thought he would do this. I told you, I literally would have thought that. I knew it would happen. I knew it. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Jacob Elordi's cool, but not really. And then Timothée Chalamet, he's just kind of annoying. And why is he dating Kylie Jenner? Timothée Chalamet is 30. How old is Kylie Jenner? I think that I might have like a bias in my head right now where I feel like Timothée Chalamet is like 20 years old. I just feel like he's a baby, and I think it's just because he kind of looks like a baby. He has like a real baby face, and that's not a bad thing. Was he in that thing on SNL where it's like the baby face? He was in that. Oh my God, that song with that, the guy that played Domingo with Sabrina Carpenter. Oh my God. First of all, he fine as hell. What's that guy's name? It starts with an R or something. It's like, no. Is it R? I don't know what his name is, but he played Domingo. But anyway, they were in that little skit where it's like they have a baby face. That was the whole skit. That was like the whole entire thing. But it was like a rap or something that they did. I'm taking my shoes off. Hope you guys are cool with that. But anyway, I just can't. I think it's just they're performative. I feel like I'm getting a performative vibe from them. And I'm just really against that. I'm really against performative males. If you know, you know. Dated one. God. And I think that's like my issue is that I'm like, you guys are like sick in the head and twisted. And there's something wrong with, like, I feel like I can just sense it now because I've dated one of those like performative males who like paints his nails and like pretends to read. Do you even know how to do that? Because I'm like, what's going on right there? There's like some stuff there. Because I'm like, you're okay. No, I'm not even going to say too much. I'm not going to say too much, y'all. But anyway, I just have like a sense of something being wrong with these people. And Timothée Chalamet recently has just been kind of weird. Somebody said on this guy I follow on TikTok, oh God, I don't know what his name is, but he had he's like this black creator, and he had this, the one thing I remember from him is that he had a little like hamster or like gerbil or something named Onika, like Nicki Minaj, but then Onika died, so rest in peace, Onika. Nicki Minaj kind of died in real life too. Can we get into that? No, the creator I'm talking about, I don't know what his name is, but he made a TikTok that was like, Timothée Chalamet is going on a nigga world tour, and y'all girls are just eating it up. And I commented, and I was like, they're so easily impressed. I got a bunch of likes on the comment, but not to flex, but y'all, Timothée Chalamet is like he's trying to be seasoned, and he's not. You know what I'm saying? Because there is such thing as like a seasoned white guy, seasoned white girl. It's a thing. It's a real thing, I do think. But Timothée Chalamet is not an example. He's annoying just because he was on Drewski. He was on, like, Could Have Been records. Come on. Like, and I will say, it was really funny. It was funny, but that doesn't mean that I like him. I can admit when he's funny, but okay. That clip where the guy, he's, like, voguing. The guy's, like, in front of him voguing, and he blows him a kiss, and he goes, okay, received, or whatever he says. That was hilarious. So it's like, Timothée Chalamet is funny, but that's kind of all that I like about him. So I'm like, chill, not too much. But I'm like, people have been easily impressed with Timothée Chalamet since he was, like, rapping, like, Roman's Revenge. And he did that, he was, like, on stage doing those dances. I forget what they were. But anyway, that's how I feel about those three guys. Not my favorite, but I don't hate them. But, okay, so Nicki Minaj, what's going on there? I just want to say that, not that I would pull a Nicki Minaj, but I'm gonna say this. If the check was big enough, y'all might have lost me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might lose me. If the it's like I want to just be joking, but there's not a lot that I wouldn't do for like the right amount of money. I'm not kidding when I say that. And I feel like y'all would agree too. So many of y'all would agree. I feel like, okay, I won't even say that. But anyway, I'm not saying I'm going to grift, but I will say it's mad easy to do. And another thing, here's my thing about grifting. I don't like, obviously I hate when people do it, but I hate when people act surprised that like, oh, he's actually like this random person that I followed. Oh, he's MAGA. I thought that he said, gay people deserve rights. And it's like, yeah, because that's a really easy thing to say. People forget that like being Republican, being racist, being homophobic, being a Nazi, all of these things, you can easily grift back and forth. Like even, oh my God, Nick Fuentes, first of all, gay, Mexican, he's like 5'7", so that's crazy. But he's also a Nazi? What? Okay. So Nick Fuentes. Y'all know he's gay, right? Like, did y'all know that? Okay. What? Like, I think it's really funny that not that someone's gay. Like, look right there, I have a flag. But I'm just saying, like, y'all are letting him be, like, the leader of, like, the neo-Nazis. Like, the new age Nazi. Like, what? Okay. That's crazy. But anyway, what I'm saying is that it's very easy to say things like surface level. So for example, Nick Fuentes, he could say something like, racism is inherently negative. And people will be like, oh my God, is he woke now? Oh my God, he's so woke. Did he just say something I agree with? Or he'll say, oh, well, what does he say? I don't know. He says a lot. He says the N-word a lot. I know that's for sure. Or he'll do something that's like really funny that anyone would find funny, whether you're on the left, right, middle, whatever. And people are like, oh my God, he's so funny. It's my guilty pleasure that I laugh at his videos. And it's like, yeah, that's how they get you. You do know that, right? Like, and this is coming from somebody who, first of all, is not immune to propaganda. I'm literally joining the military, so let's relax. Like, I know how these things work. But also, I do kind of think he's funny sometimes, of course. I literally even think that Donald Trump is funny sometimes. But that doesn't mean that I'm supporting them. I'm just saying that if someone was sort of like weaker minded, then they would be really quick to be like, lately he said a lot of things that are funny. I'm going to give him a follow. Next thing you know, full on Nazi, right? It's that easy. And plus, Nick Fuentes being like younger, it's easier to appeal to the younger crowd because we are younger, like whatever. So that's his audience, right? Same thing with like Charlie Kirk even. Shout out, I guess. Same thing with him is like he was maybe not younger, but he was going to colleges to essentially recruit his Turning Point USA Nazis, right? And he's going to get these young, I found my tissue. He's going to get these young, impressionable, like children, basically, fresh out of high school. And he's going to debate with them. And he's like purposely doing it to make them look stupid so that more people will agree with him. Like, that's just how these things work. And I feel like I recognize like how easy it is to like fall down a pipeline of like alt-right, like neo-Nazi, racist, all that, whatever. I know how easy it is to fall down that and like being super misogynistic, because when I was like 10 or 11, I kind of did. I did. Story time, not really a story time, but I was supposed to talk about Bones and All, but I started talking about, okay, this is where my path went. I was going to talk about Bones and All, but then Timothy Chalamet and my hatred for those three guys I mentioned started me on a path to talk about Nicki Minaj. And so now I'm talking about grifting. And so I've started talking about Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirk. How did I get here? I mean, I just explained how I got here, but like, I was supposed to talk about how I really enjoyed the movie Bones and All, but I'm over here being like, here's how grifting works. What? So... But seriously, story time, when I was really young, like 9, 10, 11, and I had unrestricted access to the internet. Really, I had unrestricted access to the internet from younger than that. But anyway, I started watching YouTube a lot, fell down pipelines. I really got into Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and PewDiePie. Those were my three goats when I was really younger. PewDiePie, hello, there's plenty of stuff there. But anyway, so I started falling down these pipelines of a man named Steven Crowder. Hello. Crowder, I hardly know her. So if you guys don't know who Steven Crowder is, he was Charlie Kirk before there was Charlie Kirk. Even though Charlie Kirk has been in the game for a while. Not anymore. So Steven Crowder was the first one that I know of, at least, or at least to sort of go mainstream and become popular by going to college campuses and debating fresh out of high school hormonal adults that aren't as educated on the statistics, so he could make them look stupid. So he's the guy who, I'm sure that you've seen a picture. There's that picture of the guy, he's sitting at a table, and across the front, he's like sipping like a mug or something. And across the front of the table, it's like white. It says like blah, 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 change my mind under it. That was Steven Crowder. That was his original thing. That's like how he started, was going to college campuses and putting something like every black person is inherently violent, change my mind. Something that would essentially rage bait someone and get them to interact. That's the word I was looking for. Get them to interact with his like that hateful rhetoric. Because that is one thing about sort of those like debaters, like the people that just debate people on either side. They're very reactionary. So they'll say something outrageous to get someone to be upset about it, so that then they can be calm and look like, well, I'm right because I'm talking quieter and I'm quoting a statistic that I just made up. But because you're already leaning towards me being the one in the right because I'm talking quieter, you think that the statistic is correct. I sound more educated because I'm calm, even though the reaction that's coming from the person opposing me is exactly what I wanted. I elicited this reaction so that I could look calm. That's how they do it. It's really easy to do. That's what I'm saying. I just feel like, I'm not saying I'm a grifter, but I will say that I could be. It's not hard to be stupid. Nicki Minaj does it. Not only is she already married to and having and had a kid with a sex offender, she's grifted because you don't have to be educated to like be MAGA. That's like the real thing that's like genuinely important to note, is that like, if I wanted to grift and just be Republican, I could just start spewing hateful, racist rhetoric. I could like go on like Omegle or whatever, like the Gypsy Crusader. Do y'all know who that is? I feel like I know too much. I know too many like neo-Nazis, or like know of them. That's like weird that I know all these things, but I could go on there. I could go on Omegle and just start calling people the N-word. Candace Owens does it. She's a racist. She doesn't like her own people. And that's what I'm saying too, is that it's really funny when like Candace Owens, Kanye West, for example, them being black people that have grifted to the wrong side of history is really funny, because it's like, they still don't like you though. They see you as like an attraction. You know what I mean? Like if they could put you in a zoo, they would. They still would, even though you're saying what they agree with. And it's like, it's similar to like, what's her name? Caitlyn Jenner being a transphobic trans woman. She's Republican. She's doing that so that they can be like, no, we're not transphobic. We like the ones that are like Caitlyn Jenner. She's just as dumb as you guys are though. So that doesn't even matter. So that's how they are. They're like, oh, she's one of the good ones. I promise. Same thing with Candace Owens and Kanye. It's like, oh, they might be black, but they're the good ones. They're some of the rare few black people that can be quote unquote smart and be on our side. That's all that it is. But I don't know why. I don't know how I got here. I think I was just saying that like, oh, hello. What was that? I would be really good at grifting because I would do a lot for money. God, I'm crying, but I couldn't obviously like abandon my morals like that, but I'm just saying that I think that, I'm not saying that I understand why people do it, but I understand how. Like, it's super quick to be able to turn off your brain in order to become a Trump supporter has to be like almost euphoric, to just be able to lay around and just be stupid. Like, to not care about what anyone says. There's this podcast that I watch, or I don't watch the podcast or listen to it, but I see clips of them on my Instagram all the time because I follow them. I need to listen to them, but they're called the Necessary Conversation podcast, I think. And it's like this brother and sister that debate and sort of have conversations with their mom and dad, who are like big fat Trump supporters, especially their dad. And they're on the complete opposite end. So they'll have political conversations and debates with them. And the dad is a perfect example of pretty much all of MAGA, because they're old and stupid. And not only will they not, they just won't listen to what is like being said of like, this is a true thing that happened. They'll be like, so you could literally go to them and say, Donald Trump was pictured sexually assaulting a 4-year-old little girl on Epstein's Island, and they filmed it, and here's a video of it. And they'd be like, okay, well, Obama was there too, though. But what about Obama? But Obama, what? And then I think it's funny. This is a really funny thing I've heard from just like the craziest Republicans in the world, is like, oh, Obama and Bill Clinton and Biden, somehow they still run the government. They're behind all of it. They'll say that when something bad is happening, but then when it's something good, like, oh, our gas prices are lower, they're like, that's because it's Trump. That's because it's Trump, and I voted for him, and he did that. What are you talking about? Come on, like, stop. You guys are stupid. So, anyway, I was saying earlier that it's very easy to fall down a pipeline, because I did, and when I was younger, I would literally watch compilations. Oh my God. Social Justice Warrior Gets Owned compilations. Swear to God. Swear to God. I was watching that crazy. Like, y'all have no idea. And I remember being like, I remember literally being like, oh, she's stupid. Specifically women, because that's the only social justice warrior. I'd be like, oh my God, she's like a blue-haired snowflake. And she's like stupid and also a lesbian. Whole time, I like women too. I've always known that. But I would be like, I'm not one of those gays. Because I'm not. But I just mean like, it being like 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, watching that and consuming that, if I wouldn't have snapped out of it, I would be... I don't know. And then I think it's also weird because I'm like, you know how people make that excuse of like, oh, it's because of your environment. It's how they were raised. So if somebody's like super racist or like MAGA, whatever, same thing, they'll be like, oh, well, I was just raised to be this way. And it's like, okay, that might be true. I'm not denying that at all. But I was like raised by people that are very Republican, can say some very racist things regularly, and I didn't turn out that way. I don't agree with them. I don't understand why I made the switch. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I somehow got out of it because, like I said, I was really falling down that pipeline, but at some point I didn't. Like something pulled me out. I don't know what it was. I don't know what moment it was. I do remember in 2016 when I was 10 years old. I might have been 9 when it happened. I don't remember. But I do remember when that shooting happened at the gay club in Orlando, I want to say. It was called Pulse. There was a shooting at a gay club, and that was the first time that I ever understood what a hate crime was. I remember that. And I knew of like school shootings. I knew what mass shootings were. I knew of school shootings and stuff like that. But that was the first time that I ever had to conceptualize, mind you, 9 years old, having to conceptualize the fact that these people got shot because they were gay. Like straight up, that was it was a hateful thing. Obviously, I mean, any shooting is hateful, but I just mean like that being the sole purpose of it. And I do remember that sort of opening my eyes to some things because that was also perfectly around the time that I discovered my own sexuality. And I was like, oh wait, I like girls too. Like right before that. So I was like going on like Musically, because it was Musically at the time. Am I unk status? Like what? Dude, there's going to be people out there that don't know what Musically is. Oh, that's like sick. Okay. So what was I saying? I was like going on Musically, looking up like hashtag LGBT and like following all these creators that are like gay and bi and trans and like all this good stuff, because around that same time is when Caitlyn Jenner came out as transgender, and everybody around me was like, oh, that's still Bruce Jenner. He's always going to be a man. And I remember thinking that and then not thinking that, because I was like, oh, I learned at the age of 9 or 10, I learned what gender dysphoria was. And I was like, oh, so people are transgender sometimes. It was that simple. It was literally that simple. And it's like, if I can learn that at 9, I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody, but it's not hard to figure these things out. But then at the same time, I think that I just got lucky and ended up on the woke side of the internet, and I consumed that media, because it could have gone either way. If I would have continued down that pipeline of watching Steven Crowder, I genuinely would probably hate gay people. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm serious. I didn't mean to get this serious, by the way. I was just supposed to talk about a movie. Hello. But I'm like, I could have. So I think that that's how it happens so quickly for people, for the same people that I went to elementary, middle, and high school with, that I knew. I think that we just ended up on different parts of the internet, because also everything is targeted. So a lot of like alt-right propaganda is aimed at boys anyway, at young boys. So the boys that I was friends with, they were falling down that pipeline, no matter what color they were. They were falling down the pipeline, and they didn't get like saved essentially like I did, because they're interacting with this content and they're boys. Like that sounds like I'm being dramatic, but that's like a really big thing that, I mean, I don't feel like explaining all of it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, The algorithm knew they were boys, right? Like that's it. It's I don't want to talk about it anymore. But fuck Nicki Minaj, y'all. Ugh. And I will say, haven't liked her since the baby with the sex offender. That was enough for me to not fuck with her. But I will say, the randomness of the grift. What are you doing on stage with Erica Kirk? Like, that is just so... It's almost funny because it's like, what are you doing there? And also, was she on coke the whole time she was there? I think she was, because she looked like she was tweaking bad. Like, it was snowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was very weird of her. But anyway... My mouth is dry. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to stop talking ever. So, my nose is still like, ugh, I'm so congested now. I only have about 15 minutes left because I try not to talk for longer than like an hour. But I watched Bones and All. Shout out Taylor Russell and shout out Timothy Chalamet. Can't believe I ended up going down that pipeline, I guess, of talking about a pipeline. But Bones and All was very interesting. I didn't understand it at first. I was so confused because I was like, why are they eating people? Oh, spoiler alert, they eat people in the movie. And I'm like, I'm trying to figure out why they're doing it because I thought it was like a metaphor for like, I was trying to figure out what it could be a metaphor for, but everything was throwing me because I was like, okay, this can't be a metaphor for like sex because they're eating just anyone and like they're eating their family too. I'm going to be spoiling it, sorry. But I'm like, Lee ate his dad and Sully ate his grandpa. So I'm like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's confusing because I'm like, where do you draw the line? Why are you eating people? What's going on? So by the end of it, I understood more. And the way that I see it is that them eating people is essentially their way of like, I guess, sabotaging, messing up a relationship, like ruining it, like a friendship, a relationship, a family member, it doesn't matter like who or what, a coworker, a stranger, whatever, any sort of connection that you might have with somebody. I feel like for them to eat it, or for them to eat that person is their way of ending that connection. That's the way I'm interpreting it. I'm sure like there's more to it, but I just think that my favorite part about the movie was that hold on. Ooh, my jaw has been killing me lately. Not my favorite part of the movie, but something that I did enjoy was that there was a lot of themes of like loneliness and isolation throughout, which I liked because real and relatable. And I think that them eating people is what sets them apart, and they don't understand why, especially Marin. She doesn't understand why. I mean, none of them understand why they do it, but it just happens. It's just like a natural, innate thing within them that it's just something that they have to do. And I feel like for me, I kind of, it resonated with me after I made this connection and I understood it more, or at least I interpreted it this way in order for me to be able to like digest it better, I guess. No pun intended, because they eat people. But I feel like it's kind of me also. Like, I'm like, yeah, I think that I also end up unintentionally sort of eating people no matter what I do. Not to get too deep or anything, but I just feel like my purpose in life is to go into someone's life and then go out of it just as quick. So it's like to like become friends with someone and then to do something to mess it up and then I'm no longer friends with them. That's my way of like eating someone as they do in the movie. I think that that's my way of ruining that connection that I previously had with somebody, and I don't do it on purpose. I think it just always happens to me. So that's how I feel like it is with Marin, is that she never goes into relationships intending to eat the person, right? She didn't intend, spoiler again, she didn't intend to eat Lee at the end of the movie. When she first got into that like relationship with him, when they like first met, it's not like she thought in her head, oh my God, I'm going to eat you later. They were not supposed to end up that way. You see what I'm saying? They were supposed to continue living like real people do, as they were saying, with jobs and living in like a city and having friends and stuff like that. That's how they were supposed to be. But because of a series of unfortunate events, she ended up eating him. So it's like, she didn't intend that. And that's how kind of I feel like with myself, is that me, I don't intend to like ruin a relationship with a friend or a friend group or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, but I always do, which sucks. And I think that it makes me more lonely in the end, because I'm at a very lonely, sort of isolated time in my life right now, where everything I do is by myself, pretty much everything. I'm not saying like, but I'm way more alone than I used to be. Like a year and a half ago was the complete opposite for me. I was surrounded by people and love and friendship and relationships and all that. I was just like fully surrounded. And of course I went and messed that up for myself. But everybody else that I used to be like friends with and in a relationship with and stuff like that, they still have their fun. They still have their connections with people. They don't eat people, but I do. You see what I'm saying? Not everybody's an eater. I am, if that makes sense. That's kind of just how I feel about it, where it's like, I ended up eating them. I ate all my old friends. It wasn't on purpose, obviously, just like how in the movie, she doesn't intend to. I never intend to eat anybody, but I do. Does that make sense? I think that's really funny to just say like, yeah, I ate my friends. It's like what is that clip from TikTok? I think about this all the time. And I thought about it last night while I was watching the movie. That clip from TikTok, I think it's from like Trolls or something, where he's like, I ate my grandma. That's hilarious for some reason. That pops in my head way more often than it should. I ate my grandma. But anyway, so yeah, that's how I feel about Bones and All. That's one of those movies that I'm glad I watched, because I've heard so much about it. I've seen so many TikToks about it. I just haven't watched it. And I have a friend who really does like it. And I was like live texting her as I'm watching the movie. I was like, what's happening? I texted her in the very beginning. I was like, why did she just eat her finger? And then I was like, okay, this is a recurring theme. Eating is normal in this movie. Cool. So then I was like, all right, it was still weird though. But I did like it. Another movie, God, my mouth is so dry. Maybe that's my sign to stop talking. But I'm not going to listen. So, what is that? There's a little fuzz on my, okay. Anyway, another movie on my watch list is Call Me By Your Name, which is also directed by Luca Guadagnino, and it has Timothée Chalamet, because apparently that's his muse. Y'all, I want to be somebody's muse. That's what I think about that, because I'm like, Timothée Chalamet being Luca Guadagnino. I love his name, Luca Guadagnino. Him being his muse is so cute to me. I'm like, yes, like put him in your movies. I love that. I'm like, I want to be somebody's muse, but then at the same time, I want to have a muse. Like if I was a director, I would want to have like one actor that I'm just like obsessed with. Like, Uma Thurman being Quentin Tarantino's muse for a couple movies. Like, speaking of the devil, well, speaking of her, she's right there, but also I have a poster on my wall. But I'm like, that's so cool. Like this is gonna sound really crazy, but I'm saying like if I was a director, I would look forward to using someone. That sounds really weird, but I just mean like to tell a story through a person and to have them be my muse and to be fully inspired by them. And I'd be like, here, you're going to be my puppet for my creative juices. I'm going to use you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Oh, sorry. So yeah, I just think that would be really fun. I would love to be a director, but then at the same time, I'm like, I would love to be an actress too. I want to be everything. I want to be somebody's muse. I want to be the artist. I don't know what I want to be. I want to be everything. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I just want to do a lot. I want to be a singer. Dude, the thought of like being able to go on tour and perform a concert, that sounds so fun. Like what? Oh my God. And then also another thing that I really liked about Bones and All was that it's funny because I kept thinking about things like practically. And I was like, dude, where is she gonna live? Like, she's homeless. Like, you know what I'm saying? I kept thinking about that. And then I kept thinking, I'm like, when her and her dad in the beginning, when they picked up and moved somewhere, like, and they had done it previously because every time she eats somebody, they have to leave. I'm like, where, how did they find somewhere to live? Like, how did they get that, like, little shack? What is that? Just like an abandoned house? Abandoned houses. What a tape that pool stick all in it. No, that's inappropriate. But I'm like, where do you, like, live for real? So that's really confusing. And then I'm like, I think that I like the idea of just picking up and going, kind of. So just like traveling and literally just going wherever the wind takes you. I thought that was really cool. I like movies that have that as like the majority of the film is like we're driving around in a truck and we only have the clothes on our back, and you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I want to do anything like that, but it just kind of gives like road trip vibes, but more of like an isolated sort of road trip, if that makes sense. Because I feel like it would be so fun to be able to experience something like that with someone that you're like in love with, or that you fall in love with over time, so that it's like literally just you, like the two of you, and there's no like outside influence or anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, that just seems like it would be fun to just travel. I mean, to travel, but I just mean like to not have to worry about the responsibility of other things. Because I'm like, I could not pick up and go because I have a job. I have a job. First of all, where would I go? You know what I'm saying? I'd have to have money. But then what would I tell my work? You know, it's just weird. So I don't know, but I think it would be cool. So anyway, I talked for a long time. I'm playing with the strings on my pants. What else did I talk about? I talked about my gym stalker. I talked about grifting, and I talked about bones and all. So I'm trying to think of it because I like to do 3 words in my title. Not words, but 3 things in my titles. I don't know why I do that, but it's like become a thing. It's like the formula for which I like record my videos. Is like I'll try to make sure that I talk about at least 3 things so that for the title I can figure out 3 things to add into it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll probably do gym stalker, grifting, and bones and all. So yeah. Also, really quick about bones and all, I like that at the end Lee let Marin eat him because he knew that that's what she like needed. Who's gonna let me eat them? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm wondering. That's what I said after I watched the movie. I was like, who's trying to let me eat them? Because I'm like, there's 2 like roles in life, and now I'm kind of wondering, I'm like thinking about it for people that I know. I'm like, would you be the eaten or the eater? You know what I'm saying? Would you do the eating? Or would you let somebody eat you? It's like, to eat or not to eat is the question. So that's fun. But I don't know. I really liked it though. It was like slow. My friend warned me that it was kind of slow, but I always say that I don't really like slow movies. But I think if they're aesthetically pleasing enough, I'll watch it. Because honestly, like, Brokeback Mountain is pretty slow and pretty quiet, but I love that movie bad. Like Lolita, I think. I only have 2 more minutes, but I will say I like the movie Lolita. Oh, I don't know. It's kind of weird to say that. Isn't Hudson Williams getting canceled? I heard that the guy from Heated Rivalry, which I have not seen yet. I might be the only person left in the world who hasn't seen Heated Rivalry, but the guy, Hudson Williams, he's all over my For You page. Apparently people are upset with him because of his review, his letterboxed review of Lolita. It's like, okay. But yeah, but I like Lolita because it has that isolated traveling aspect where the 2 of them are together. And I know, obviously, it's not good that he's with her like that, like, duh. But the idea of just them being alone together and traveling and just going where the wind takes them, like, that's what I like. I really like movies that have that to them. There's a movie I want to watch called American Honey. I don't know if they have that sort of isolated traveling aspect in it, but I have like a crack in my lip and it burns. But anyway, thanks for listening to me talk about everything, as I always do. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with the SD card that I bought that is not the right one. What do I do with it? Because I'm like, that was $30. I'm going to have to sell it to somebody. Like, who wants a 256 gigabyte SD card? Who wants that? I'll give it to you for $25. Hey. Okay. My nose itches. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching.